Full Content Operating Guide 2025 for beginners. Alright guys, I have an entire breakdown today that I'll share with you, going over the best way to make money online as a beginner to get to your first $5,000 to $10,000 per month. This right here is my skill that took me from a broke college dropout that had to move in with his grandma in a remote mountain village in Bulgaria to living in Los Angeles, buying a brand new Raptor, getting his dream girl, and having complete financial time and location freedom. So I'm going to show you everything step by step, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to go make money on your own because I'm going to show you pretty much the entire process, including AI tools that do everything for you. So I'm going to make it stupid simple. In addition to templates you can simply copy, and also I'm going to just give you video editors to use. So there's a lot we have to get through, but first let's go over this business model and what exactly the skill of content operating is. So at 21 years old, I made over $200,000 online through content operating. Here are my clients. The biggest one is Dan Bilzerian. So yeah, he pays quite well. And then we also have Nathan Nazareth. He has around 1 million followers on Instagram. Some of the payments he's sent me is 4K, 5.5K, 8.4K, 4K, 3K. Here's some extra miscellaneous expenses on his end, so profit on my end. And then a new client I just onboarded is Andy Starring. And I know what you guys are thinking, like how? That's the big question, right? How did you drop out of college, make no money, have to live with your grandma in Bulgaria to achieving this lifestyle? And it's actually pretty simple. We're not going to overcomplicate anything because we don't have to. Content operating is literally the biggest opportunity right now because it actively leverages the new digital economy by providing the most in-demand skill. Content operators sell shovels to those mining for gold on social media. So essentially, think about it. On the basic level, traditional media is shifting from TV and commercials to social media. Why? Well, turns out social media is more profitable. People would rather buy products online, including programs or anything really that costs money, because they trust the social media influencer more than the huge conglomerate company that's spending millions of dollars on commercials to throw at your face between every television show that you watch every single day. So it's easier actually to buy from a face, not just a huge company. And this is why people are taking advantage of it and everyone is selling on social media. So instead of us doing that, we're just going to sell them the shovels. Because what do influencers and business owners on social media need the most of? Well, probably content, right? So that's what we're selling as a content operator. We're selling content operator services. And it's actually very cool because technically it's the only business model that can never become saturated. Think about every other business model. The more people do it, the harder it is because there's more competition. But social media is only growing and everyone needs content. So this is the best opportunity to start, and it's how I was able to achieve all the success at relatively, early 20s. It's essentially, in a one-word explanation, managing Instagram pages for influencers and business owners. And if we really want to dumb it down, it's using ChatGPT to create video ideas, and then babysitting an editor from a third world country to do the actual work for you. And it's great because we're not a commodity, right? Everyone can find an Indian video editor for $4 an hour. But that's why that video editor can't really charge that much money. They don't understand the content they're making, and they're just pitching themselves as a commodity. I'll send you one video and you pay me 20 bucks. But a content operator can charge upwards of $10,000 per month because he's basing his service on the result the content generates for our client. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Once again, we have an AI tool that's going to do it for us. So it's really cool. And this exact system is pretty much only 4 to 5 steps. So essentially, we're going to first learn how to make high converting viral content, which is really easy. You guys are going to see there's going to be a lot of like aha moments later on. And then we're going to select a niche to find clients. We're going to go and see where they are on social media and outreach to them and then outsource to an editor. And keep in mind, we're not just passing work along. While we are the middleman connecting a client to an editor, we're still managing that process. And that's why we get paid the big bucks, because we are a professional manager, not a simple video editor. And if we go look at like the average salary in India per month, it's about 400 bucks. So if we pay our Indian video editor more than 400 bucks, we're actually helping them. And this is why they love to work with us, because they can't get clients on their own and we can't really edit on our own. So it's a perfect fit. In the same way a famous athlete needs an accountant. The accountant needs the money to manage, and the athlete needs the accountant to tell him what he's doing, right? So it's the same principle here, and we're going to analyze everything through a psychological lens, because this isn't luck. It's a strategic formula that I'm about to go over. You get paid essentially in 3 different ways. The first is a flat monthly fee the client pays you upfront. It's usually between $3,000 to $10,000 per month. And this is all of these payments right here. And then in addition to our flat monthly fee, oops, I accidentally ruined my board. Let's undo all that. Okay, there we go. Looks good. We're going to get a cut and percentage of the money the content produces for the influencer. So this is usually 10% of sales, 15% of sales, in addition, once again, to the flat monthly fee. And then on top of that, another bonus is a cut of the sponsorship deals the influencer gets from the content you manage. Once again, these video editors don't understand how to create content that creates sales for clients that are selling something. They simply just make the videos, and that's why they're stuck at $20 per video. But we are going to learn how to do that, learn how to manage the video editor, and then we can charge a flat fee, a premium rate, in addition to an actual percentage. And that way it's a win-win scenario. We're incentivized to make the client more money, and the more money the client makes, the more he has to pay us. So it's a perfect feedback loop. And here are my 3 promises to you watching this video right now by the end of this video. You're going to know exactly how to find high-paying clients consistently via the sniper method. You will also know exactly how to become a content operator and acquire clients for free via the social hacking method. This right here is actually a little secret that no one knows about, but I pioneered it by reverse engineering my success, so I'm so excited to share it with you guys. And on top of that, you'll learn how to make viral videos without any prior editing experience and automate your work by outsourcing it to a trained quality editor that, once again, I'm just gonna hand over to you. So essentially, before I get started by the step-by-step breakdown, I just wanna preface, if you wanna become a millionaire tomorrow, then click off this video. Because that's impossible. You won't become a millionaire overnight. In fact, you won't even become a millionaire after your first year of business. That's impossible. I'm not gonna promise you some bullshit fairy tale story. Now, if you are interested in learning the most in-demand skill right now that is only growing, and it's content operating, I can help you with that. But if you're just looking for quick cash, you know, the casino is down the block. You can try crypto, any of that, but really it's not a business. A business pays you monthly, consistently, every single month out of the year. And this is what it actually makes it a great model, because it's never up and down. It's very flat, consistent, and on top of it, you grow, because remember, we have the percentages. So it's 3 to 10K per month base plus the percentage, and the more results we get our client, the more they pay us. So I'm going to get the ball rolling here, and I'm going to show you a little cool trick about creating content that actually sells from step 1 in this breakdown. Step 1 is to create high converting content. So the reason why viral is in parentheses is that the truth is, you don't need to go viral. You just need your content to generate sales for your client. So in order to do this, we're going to identify a target audience. The reason why is because we need to know who is the content made for. And once we've identified a demographic, for example, males 18 to 24 years old, our videos can be much more impactful because they're strategically aimed at those people. And the way we do this is by selecting a content style. Essentially, there's 3 different ways. There's talking head, which I'm simply talking to the camera. The influencer or the business owner sits down and educates his viewers. We have lifestyle, showing off the location, time, and financial freedom. For example, traveling to the Maldives, something like that. Or storytelling, which is pretty self-explanatory. And I'm going to show you examples of all of this, so don't worry. And finally, we're going to go over my Instagram posting template and my trained AI bot to give you viral and high converting content every single day. So once again, the next step from here is to figure out who our client is selling to. So we're going to pick a niche, which is step 2. But before that, we need to make sure we understand this content is geared toward who? Age, sex, nationality, and what appeals to these people. After we have that, we can go and make content that's either educational, inspirational, or relatable. So this is important because it's what drives purchasing behavior. Remember, we want people that watch our videos to purchase from our client. So it needs to be one of these. And here are the examples I was talking about. So let's start with talking head.
The ages of 16 and 24, this is a video for you. You don't want to work a job, you don't want a boss, you want to make 10K, 20K, or even 30K a month on your own terms, traveling wherever you want.
Cool. So talking head, he's talking to the camera, and also he's calling out his target audience, 16 to 24-year-old males trying to make 10K a month and travel the world. Pretty self-explanatory. The next one is lifestyle. Cool. So you get the point, having fun, living your life, and then storytelling. By the way, those two examples were both my clients, Nathan and Andy, and here is one of my videos. A 22-year-old college dropout, and I just moved to Los Angeles, California, and bought a brand new Raptor. But it wasn't always like this. You see, just last year, I was living in a remote mountain village in Bulgaria, trying to make online business work. I had dropped out of college because I never wanted to have. Okay, you get the point. So that's my video, and that's an example of storytelling. So moving on here, let's actually go over why these videos do well and how to get them to actually get views. So, is this some mega secret? No. Essentially, we're just repackaging proven concepts and moving them over to a platform that's for a new audience. So the best example of this is actually probably one of the biggest people in the space, a YouTuber by the name of Mr. Beast that gets hundreds of millions of views per video. So is he a mega genius that just comes up with every video concept from his brain while he's sleeping and it gets hundreds of millions of views? Well, the answer is no. Essentially, he's just taking proven concepts like old TV survivor shows that already have a huge audience, and he's repackaging the format for a YouTube audience. You can actually see he doesn't even try hiding this. Like, look at this facial expression and look at this one. It's the same thing, right? And once again, he's not reinventing the wheel. He's just copying what works, but slightly changing it so it's new, it's relevant, and it's for the audience on that platform, which in his case is YouTube. Let me show you an example of me doing this. Here's one of my viral videos. It's at like 4 million views on Instagram, 400,000 likes. I'll play it right now. Cool. So once again, it's like a lifestyle video. The format is me and my best friend, me and my business partner trying business and then failing, but then succeeding. So there's also an element of storytelling, which is one of the structures that we just talked over. So am I an amazingly gifted, talented content creator by nature that was just born and spitting out video ideas 24/7, getting 4 million views every video? No. I know it looks like it's new and authentic, but in reality, I just copied this as my inspiration and then slightly tweaked it, changed the music, and then had myself in the content.
Sarra em mim, joga pouquinho, você dá pra mim. Passa em mim, sarra em mim, joga pouquinho, você dá pra mim.
So I think you guys get the point. Emil is not a mega genius entrepreneur content creator. I wish I could tell you I was, but that's not the truth. And neither is Mr. Beast. He's probably getting there because he's doing really well. But once again, he's just repackaging proven concepts without reinventing the wheel. So once again, this is how we get videos that convert for our clients. We go see what's working, and then we take it to our industry, our niche, slightly change it, and boom, it already has proof of concept and it does well. So let's actually see how to do this. Oh, look at this. It's an AI tool that does it for you. So this is my hook generator, which I've actually trained to give us results like that video. Essentially, you can say, give me 5 hooks in the X niche. So let's just say dropshipping niche. And by the way, a hook is simply the beginning of a video. It's the first 3 seconds that are most important because it dictates if a viewer will stop scrolling and actually watch it. So it needs to be captivating, it needs to be interesting to get people to pay attention. So I'm gonna actually just click it. And then once again, this AI tool is trained to give me non-generic answers. So right here, I dropped $1,000 on ads in one day and got 0 sales until I tried this one tweak. I was ready to quit dropshipping. Then I hit my first 5K day. Here's what changed. And then on top of that, it's also going to automatically give us different angles. So it's automatically going to give us those slight tweaks to make it unique, make it trendy, and actually go and convert. So we have a confession style. I almost gave up after losing $3,000. Here's the hard lesson I learned. Or there's a mistake I made format. The one shipping error that cost me thousands and how I fixed it. So you see, it's about simply having a very unique intro that has proof of concept, once again, through this AI bot, and then slightly tweaking it, which is the new angle right here. So that is simply everything that I use. And once I create these videos, in terms of scripting and the idea, I simply have a video editor go and make it for me. But I'm getting a little too ahead of myself right there. So let's simply see how we can now organize this to create a coherent system and streamline this entire process. This is my IG content pipeline. And what I'll do is I'll actually just show you one of mine with my client, Andy. Essentially, here we can ideate ideas and we can type our 3 hooks that are our favorite from the AI bot, write our body, once again, just use ChatGPT in the correct niche. And then after we do that, we can simply drag it over to the next section for approval. This is when our client will go, they'll read over it. If they like it, great, they'll move it on to ready for review. If they don't, they'll click needs script revisions, and this will automatically bring it back to the first section. And it keeps going, ready for review, ready to film, ready to edit, editing, all the way up to posted. So this way you can track everything. There's no errors in the content because the client can approve them, and it's an organized system, which is once again what being a content operator means, simply managing the process of content. So that takes care of that right there. Now let's actually move on to step 2, which goes over selecting a niche. Now that we understand how content operating works and how to actually go and create videos that convert using the Olympus hook generator and organize it, essentially, we're going to choose a niche. And I know what you might be thinking, Emil, like, bro, just like move on, like just show me how to make the money, give me the video editor. I would, but the problem is that you need to pick a specific industry to content operating in. And the reason why is because you need to have clarity. Let me ask you this question. Who do you think gets paid more? A family doctor or a brain surgeon? Would you rather learn content operating from me or someone that just does online business, does a lot of different business models, and just kind of has an idea of it? Would you rather learn soccer from a professional soccer coach or from someone that just plays on Sunday with his best friend? It's pretty dead obvious why you need a niche. Because in business, clarity wins, specialists dominate, and generalists get ignored. You don't want to be blind, and when you pick a niche, it cuts out 50% of the competition because most content operators are simply just dying to get a client. And when you can actually go and become the expert in a niche, you understand what type of content to make because you're actually honed in on a specific industry and you can get better results for your client. So you actually just become a better content operator, but also you beat the rest of the competition that don't have that expertise. Like, would you rather, as a client, would you rather work with someone that knows exactly what they're doing with dropshipping or someone that just, makes content, right? It's pretty obvious. So let's move over here. what exactly makes a niche good? Well, it needs to check these 3 sections. It needs to be evergreen. So it simply needs to be an industry that isn't going to go away tomorrow. A bad example of this would be a trend like Labubus. If you guys know what those are, they're like going viral. It's this like doll from Japan. It's like $11,000. I don't know why, but this is not a niche. It's a trend. It's a product, right? It's not an industry. So don't do that. You want also there to be specific, clear, and audience targeting. So 18 to 24-year-old males looking to make money online. That is audience targeting. A Labubu doesn't really have an audience targeting. Maybe like women, but once again, it's just a general product that's very broad. And then we also want our niche to have a client that's selling a product or service in it, because then we can actually track if the content is converting for our clients and they can make money to pay us, right? We don't want a general like prank channel to content operate for, because they're not really making that much money, so they can't afford to pay us, and they're not selling anything. So it's not really a business, it's just like prank videos. So I'm going to show you a great example that actually have 2 of these 3, and a bad example that have not as many. So a great example would be, well, one of the pages for my clients that I content operate for, the Sigma Society for Dan Bilzerian. Essentially, Dan is making talking head style content, selling to men between the ages of 18 and 40 years old, trying to get a attractive partner. It's a dating course. So I'll play a video right here.
Guys make when taking a girl out on a date. Number 1, they try and go to a super expensive place. By doing that, especially if it's out of your pay grade.
Okay, so it's educational style content, and the reason why this works is because 1, Dan is selling a dating course right here. 2, there's clear audience targeting. He's selling to men 18 to 40 years old, not women. And then on top of that, it's evergreen. It's dating. Like everyone is going to have to date. It's not just a trend, right? And most importantly, there's a face behind this content, because once again, people like buying from people, and it needs to overcome the trust deficit. Once again, traditional media is moving from commercials to social media because of this exact reason. And obviously, who better than Dan, who's built a brand around women? Now, let's look at a terrible example. So this is also in the dating niche, but the problem here is that it's way too broad.
Why are you ignoring me?
So these are just random videos.
Have you found yourself endlessly scrolling through old photos?
It's talking about breakups, but one, there's no face behind it, there's no authority, and it's not really targeting anything specifically. Like, they're just a bunch of emotional videos of women cheating on men. And then on top of that, they're selling a program for dating, but it's talking about getting your girlfriend back or getting your boyfriend back. So which one is it? Are you selling to men or woman? You can't sell to both because then the content's too broad. And remember, in business, clarity wins, specialists dominate, not someone that's good at both, right? Would you trust a man on how to get your boyfriend back and also that same man on how to get a girlfriend back? It doesn't really make sense. On top of that, this guy's not even in any of the content. Like, there's no logical like connection there when I watch this, versus with Dan's page, there is. So that should clear everything up in terms of niche. And I just want to prove to you that there's a lot of money in social media, because this is my friend Eric, and he only has 20,000 followers on Instagram. So I'm curious, like, how much money do you think he made last month? $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 with only 20,000 followers, right? It's nothing crazy. Well, the truth is, and I know this because he's my friend, he made over $100,000. And yes, I'm completely dead serious. Obviously, this isn't the exact amount because I can't just go into his bank account and take a screenshot, but I am 100% confident, because once again, we're friends, that he makes over $100,000 per month from only 20,000 followers. Because remember, you don't need to go viral. Think about it. If you have a dating course that you're selling that costs $2,000, to make $100,000, how many sales do you need? Well, 50. So out of these 20,000 people, you need 50 to buy from you. That's how it works. And this is why content operating is pretty much an unsaturated business model, because this is only getting bigger. And what do people like Eric need? Well, probably content, right? So that is exactly fundamentally, once again, if we go back here, why we're always going to get paid. Psychologically, it makes sense. So here is my niche that I currently content operate in. It's influencers and business owners who sell a coaching program on Instagram in the dropshipping industry to 18 to 24-year-old male English-speaking beginners from United States, United Kingdom, Canada, Germany, Spain, and France. That is very specific. And once again, I'm going to beat 50% of my content operator competition because I am simply now narrowed in and I'm an expert. I know a lot about the dropshipping niche. So people trust me to make content that targets people in that industry. And once again, do you see how dialed in this is? It's specifically clients I want to find who sell a coaching program on Instagram in this niche, targeting these people. Now, my content right here can be a lot better and can drive more results. Here are some other examples. You can go down the fitness coaching route. Someone like J Park Fit. He's making videos about being in shape, boxing, everything fitness related. We have storytellers like Seth, who once again doesn't have too many followers but is making a lot of money. That is talking about creating content, being creative, making stories online. And then we also have stocks and trading, someone like TJR that talks about crypto, when to buy, when to sell, things like that. We just look at his Reels tab right here.
This is actually insane. This dude is up 300 in.
Cool. And that takes care of selecting a niche, which is step 2. Step 3, finding clients in this niche. And for this, I use the sniper approach. Because let me ask you a question. Would you rather have one super client paying you $10,000 per month, or would you rather have 5 clients that are kind of average paying you $2,000 a month? Well, it's pretty obvious. I'd rather have the one super client because it's 5 times less work, right? Proportionally, I'm only working with one person, so my time isn't split up between 5 different people, and I'm making the same amount of money. So this is why becoming a sniper is important, to pluck these people out like a needle in a haystack versus a general shotgun of just sending random DMs trying to get anyone and everyone. Once again, an expert can charge premium rates to premium clients because he's pitching himself based on his results, not his output like a video editor. And this is how you get out of the pretty much online 9 to 5. Because what people will do, and this is a common beginner mistake, is, oh, I can just get a client that pays me $2,000 and then another client and another client, but you end up becoming a hamster stuck on a wheel, always trying to get someone, and you end up losing the people you have because you don't have enough time or bandwidth or editors to service everyone at once. This is why I'm able to go work with people like Dan and Nathan and pretty much keep my content operator job with them for years on end because they are super clients. Not to mention they're higher quality individuals that always respond to my texts, always pay me on time, and I never really have any issues because they're business people, they're influencers who know what they're doing, and they can communicate clearly. And that is why we will follow a sniper approach to land these clients. We're going to use quality and quantity. I don't know why people say you have to choose one or the other. That's stupid. Like, we can do both. And then we're going to go the extra mile to stand out and land these clients. So we're going to do all of this free. We're not going to spend money on paid ads. We're going to land these clients via Instagram, and we're going to snipe them out who have between 3,000 and 50,000 followers on, once again, Instagram. There's 3 methods. Essentially, the first way is called the burner method. And it's when you go on Instagram and you find everyone within your niche. So for example, dropshipping, start with Nathan. Go like, comment, and follow all these people, and you actively signal to the Instagram algorithm, I like Nathan, I like this niche, show me more people like that. And then when you go on your Reels tab and you start scrolling, the Instagram algorithm, it's very smart, it will show you more Nathans. And you can curate your feed intentionally, use Instagram as a tool, not have it use you to find clients you can potentially outreach to and become their content operator. So that is what the burner method right here is, to get those super clients. And the reason we're finding people between 3,000 and 50,000 followers is because, one, they don't have millions of followers, so there's less competition and we can snipe them out once again. And 2, they have money. Remember Eric, who has only 20,000 followers and is making 100K a month. This is a month, by the way. So they can clearly pay us. The first way is burner. The second way is the Instagram following technique. But I'm gonna pick another client because I think it'd be weird if I just randomly unfollowed my client to show you guys this example. Like for example, let's do Austin. Yeah, I don't work with Austin, so it wouldn't be weird if I unfollowed him randomly. But I just want to show you this tactic. So you basically find someone, and when you click follow, what happens is Instagram automatically suggests other people in this niche because business owners are friends with other business owners and influencers. So if I look through all of these people, I can find more dropshippers like Smith Reads. How I make 76K a month via organic dropshipping. Well, there you go. That's another client. And obviously he has way too many followers, but that is simply the technique of using the suggested profiles method. We just went over the burner, and then you can also just check who they follow. That's another way. Like he follows Nathan. Great. There's Eric as well. Let's see. Any other dropshippers? Jordan Welsh does dropshipping. Let's see. Anyone that's verified. Jordan Bound. Dropshipping. Who does Jordan follow? Let's see if there's any like smaller creators we can snipe out here. Maybe Daniel? Okay, it's still pretty big, but looks like he does some sort of online business as well. And essentially, we're going to keep doing that until we find more clients within our chosen industry. The third way is actually my favorite. It's the YouTube method, and I use this pretty much all the time to land clients. It's when you go on YouTube, and here's the trick. Type in your industry, so drop shipping, and then the city it's most prevalent in. How do you know the city? Well, you analyze your niche. I look at a lot of dropshipping videos, and I noticed, well, these people typically live in Miami. So dropshipping Miami. And then go to filters and sort by channel. And now here are a bunch of micro influencers that don't have millions of followers that do dropshipping that we can outreach to. Like for example, the first one, BSMN Fredo. Videos. I'm building a 7-figure brand. Life of a 6-figure dropshipper living in Miami. And now we can go to his Instagram. See how many followers he has. 33K. Great. He's within that range. And now we can outreach to him and land him as a client. And by the way, I'll show you exactly the message to send. Just don't get ahead of yourself. Just follow this. Find the actual client first. And we can do this a lot. There's like people like ZZ Ecom, and he's making educational style videos. And the best thing about these guys is that maybe, they don't have too many followers on Instagram. So we can outreach to them, and we have a really good shot at landing them as a client. We can also see what they're selling. So this guy sells a dropshipping course. Great. So it actually checks off this box up here in step 2, product being sold. And that is the best way to do it for completely free. That's how I found all my clients. Now, let's actually analyze them, because would you rather work with someone that completely understands your business, understands the niche, and actually can make content that resonates with your audience and is specific to your situation, or someone random that just does content? Once again, you want to analyze their current setup. This is what I mean by going the extra mile. People that over-deliver are the ones that always get the best results, and it's how you never get replaced by another content operator. So figure out, who are they? What are they selling? How much does it cost? What are they posting? Where are they posting? How often are they posting? What's their content style? What's their message? And I'm just going to watch all their videos. I'm going to see, does Jacob Mary have an Instagram? Does he have a TikTok? How is the style changing? Is maybe this one talking head? Maybe his Instagram lifestyle? I'm going to go through this link that I just clicked. I'm going to apply for his one-on-one coaching program, teaching me how to dropship. I'm going to see how much it costs. I'm going to do all my work beforehand so I can actually be an expert and provide him value. Remember, clients want to work with you because you help them solve their problems. So moving on, here is the first message we're going to send. But really quick disclaimer, don't sell them on the first message. Don't pitch them the minute you become in contact with them because they're going to put their guards up. No one likes being sold to, especially if you haven't built authority or provided value first. So no selling, no videos like pitching yourself, and no generic comments because it's bullshit. Everyone knows it is bullshit. Think about it. When you ask a girl out, do you go say, hey, I think you're beautiful? Or do you try to be a little different to stand out? I love your eyebrows. I love the way that dress looks in the sun. I don't know. Some generic shit like that is bad. But if you say something maybe specific to her about her eyebrows or, not the fact that she's just beautiful, you have a better chance of her remembering you. And it's the same thing with clients. Everyone can look and say, hey, BSMN Fredo, I love your AMG. Does that feel like I'm going the extra mile and I'm there to actually help them? Or does it feel more like, just listen to me so I can pitch you so I can take your money? You want to have them actually respect you and think, okay, this guy's trying to actually help me. So what we're going to do is send them a 2-message sequence before we even sell to them. And the reason we actually do this is, once again, is think about this from the base level. When you look at an Instagram page for a client, let's take mine as an example. Their DMs actually have 3 different sections. We're going to ignore channels. That's something you have to set up, but it's not a regular Instagram account. It's typically a business Instagram account. So in the settings, you can sort, and most clients have it sorted like this to organize their messages. There's a primary section, there's a general section, and then there's a request section. And essentially, when you send a DM, sometimes it will go to requests automatically. And what you want is the client to move you over to general so that when you pitch, now you have a better opportunity of actually being seen and taken seriously versus being lost in here with the rest of the requests. So this is our first message. We're going to say, hey X, I love what you said about, and then here we're going to say something hyper specific about their content or the influencer's personal journey and say some sort of compliment. It really resonated with me. Or, I love this because it feels authentic. Something that shows them you appreciate exactly what they're doing and it's not generic, so you feel like, they actually care. Once again, would you rather get a girlfriend that appreciates you because of X, Y, and Z, or because you have some generic quality that every other guy has? Pretty simple. The second message will simply be a question that is super either smart or insightful and personal. So I'm not going to ask him, let's take BSMN Fredo for an example. I'm not going to ask him, yo, bro, how much horsepower does your AMG have? I could just Google that, bro. That's stupid. No one's going to respond to that. But if you asked him, let's see, he's in Miami. I study this niche, and I know a lot of people also go to Dubai, for example, to do drop shipping. Why did you pick Miami over Dubai? That is a lot more personal because it's about his specific journey, and it gives us a higher likelihood of getting a response, which is the goal. We want them to move us over from request to either primary or general so that when we pitch them, they can actually see it. And now I'm going to give you a good example and a terrible example. So let's go do the burner method on YouTube. Let's type in drop shippers Miami. Let's sort by channel. Let's kind of look through here. Another thing you can do is also just look at the videos and see what is a bit more appealing. So this guy looks great, 7.2K views. Once again, a micro influencer. We can pick pretty much, that's Fredo right there. Anyone we want to work with. Maybe Robert. I've already watched this video, so let's give this guy as an example. Let's go to his channel and let's see what he's doing. Let's analyze his content together. So let's click on most popular. How to create a perfect one-product dropshipping store.
I'll be giving you guys a free theme that will be in the description below that of ice cold mist, turning any space into refreshing paradise, calming and revitalizing. And by doing all of that, one of the first things that
okay, that's pretty interesting. So he's teaching people to create a website to sell a product via the dropshipping business model that only has one product on it. So it's not a website that has every product in your niche. It's just one that you pick, and the whole store is branded around that one product. That's pretty interesting. I haven't seen other dropshippers talk about that. So that could potentially be something that we include here in the hyper-specific journey about him as an influencer or what he teaches. Another thing could be, once again, with the Fredo example, why'd you choose Miami over Dubai? A terrible example would be, let's see. Hey, Robert, I love your BMW. Same thing with the Fredo example. It's just so generic. It's so bullshit, and people can read right through that. You want to essentially send 5 DMs like this a day because, once again, it's quality and quantity. We don't want to sacrifice either, but we don't want to send 100 DMs that are just generic and they get ignored. We want 5 meaningful ones every single day. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like in the next step, which is step 4. Once we've found a client to outreach, we've done some analysis in our niche, we're simply going to now outreach to them via my social hacking method. This is actually what makes everything click. Essentially, it's the mechanism that makes it work. It's building positioning, authority, and social capital in our message and our profile on Instagram when we reach out on Instagram. We want them to have a one-word positive association with us and provide value. Let me explain something to you. I actually am so baffled people don't understand this, but let me give you an example and it's going to make perfect sense. Let's say there is a genius physicist that made a rocket that went to Mars. If that guy is homeless and he's wearing tattered clothing and he comes up to you and he starts teaching you about physics, are you going to pay attention? He might have the right information, but he's homeless. So automatically you're going to be like, oh, like this guy's just crazy, like he's on drugs or something. You're going to ignore him. Now, if someone in a suit comes and talks to you, what are you going to think? It's the same on social media. So when clients are getting a lot of messages, the first thing they do is they don't actually read your message. The reason I know this is because people reach out to me trying to content operate me. They reach out to my clients and I see the same thing over and over again. They're sending these messages, but they don't realize clients look at their profile first. So if you have no profile picture, if you have no bio, even if you are the best content operator in the world, clients aren't going to believe you. And being the best content operator in the world that can't land any clients is the same as being the worst content operator in the world because he's still broke. So that's why this really matters. Look, your Instagram page is your online resume. Everything is becoming digital. Once again, we live in a digital age, and that's why we're selling content, the shovels, to people mining for gold, selling things online. And this matters because we want to be taken seriously. We want to build authority. Another example, if Elon Musk messages you a money bag emoji, you're probably going to respond. Okay, like, what do we do? Like, what's the business model? What do you need me for? Now, if some profile that has no images, no pictures, nothing, messages you a 2-long paragraph essay about exactly how to content operate, how to get this client in this niche, you're still going to be a little skeptical. Because I would love to tell you that it doesn't work this way, but people judge a book by its cover. That's reality. It sucks, but this is why we need to optimize your page. This will help us with everything in life, because whether you like it or not, everyone has a personal brand. It's whether that helps you or it doesn't help you. Because even outside of this, like, people are going to look your name up, even if it's not to make business, just to have friends that follow you online. They're going to see what your profile looks like. So it's within your best interest to optimize it for. It consists of 3 different things. A profile picture that's very high quality, that shows off our face, that makes us look professional, because then people can trust us to become a content operator. The Indian video editors aren't doing this. And this is why they're stuck at $20 a video. But the content operators that are making $10K a month are doing this, and this is why they can pitch premium rates to premium clients. Because when you act like a professional, when you present as a professional, you are treated as a professional. After that, we want a 9-box aesthetic. We want to post 9 pictures at the bare minimum on our Instagram feed. Why? Well, because I made it up. No, I did not make it up. It's a science. Nothing is made up. Once again, this goes to the psychological lens. On Instagram, on your mobile device, when you open up someone's profile, you can actually see the first 9 most recent pictures. If you have 8, there's going to be a missing square and it's going to look weird. It's not going to look high value. Because once again, we want a high value professional portrayal online. So minimum 9 photos. And then we want a high converting bio. We want a one-word association that I mentioned right here when clients look at your page. They want to think entrepreneur or content or expert, or I'm going to give this guy my money because I trust him because he looks pretty good compared to the video that the Indian editor keeps sending me that looks like shit. Okay? Pretty simple. So here are some great examples and some terrible examples. And real quick, I don't want to hear any bullshit about, oh, Emil, I live in, a little mountain village in Bulgaria and I can't take any photos. I did, so I don't want to hear it. This is me in Bulgaria taking a photo. You can see like the windows in the background are broken in. The grass is overgrown. Yet I was able to take a post-apocalyptic style aesthetic photo that helps my Instagram. And actually to this day, it's on my page and it's helping me get clients right now. So it's really about not making excuses, taking some personal accountability, and making your Instagram profile look as best as you possibly can. Once again, you can take photos in a garage. It doesn't have to be in the Maldives. That does help though. You want really high value portrayal photos. So something that shows off your content operator. The main thing here, guys, is you don't want it to look manufactured. It needs to be natural and candid. If I'm taking a photo like this, does that look like I'm some genius content creator that's going to help you make money in your business, or someone that's just trying to get a client by posing, right? It needs to be natural. Something like this. Maybe your back is turned, but you're in a nice environment. Maybe you're working on your computer and there's a nice skyline there. Once again, if you don't live in the city with a nice skyline, go to a parking garage, take something aesthetic. Go to a remote mountain village in Bulgaria, get a dog, and take something aesthetic. This right here is fantastic. He's not looking. It looks like he's in the moment. And I personally want to hire professionals that aren't begging to work with me, because then I actually know, okay, they have value and they know what they're worth. They're not going to work for me for free because they understand they can actually get me results, unlike the Indian video editor that's just going to edit a video like a robot. This is also great. Look, it's nothing very difficult. It's simple. There are just some palm trees in the background, or maybe you take this in a local park. He's not looking directly at the camera. No one here is, and that's why it looks real. It doesn't look fake. This is like probably the best. You can literally go to a hotel lobby or something, or you can go to a nice environment and simply take a lot of photos. Like you can open up your iPhone and just simply have someone take a bunch of pictures, and you can scroll through and pick your favorite. Very simple. So these are great examples. Let me show you some not so great examples. This right here is close. It's close, but it's not quite there yet. And I'll tell you why. While it is candid, he's not posing looking at the camera, but it is a little fake and it doesn't look like he's naturally doing this. Why? Well, because he's in the middle of some underground tunnel. And he's like posing with his foot on the wall. So it doesn't look like he's actually an entrepreneur that's naturally doing this. It looks like he went out to take pictures to get clients on Instagram. So it's close, but it's not quite there yet. This, I know you might think it's like cute and quirky or whatever, but it's not going to help you. Like if you want to use your Instagram to just post pictures of your friends, go for it, but you're not going to make money as a content operator. If you want to optimize it so clients can pay you between $3,000 and $10,000 a month, base pay in addition to percentages like we mentioned, you're going to have to do better than this. It looks like you're some college kid. Like the one word association here would be average. Here would be college, and you don't want your clients to view you that way. This is just horrible. This like, oh, look, bro. What's up, bro? Just graduated high school. Like, nope. This is, once again, it's close, but I just don't like the fact that he's staring at the camera. It doesn't look that high quality and professional. If he was looking off to the side, something like this or this, it would be a million times better. And once again, don't overlook this. This is what makes this message actually work. Because, look, let me even show you some of my DMs. Messages. I usually, like, delete them all the time, but let's see here. hey, is this the right place to reach you? To be honest, I just stumbled across your page and I'm generic. I'm a video editor and I'm generic. And he claims to generate 50 million views. Okay, let's look at his profile. Do I believe you? No, I don't believe you. You have an okay profile picture, but you're private. I can't even see your account. Like, maybe if you showed me examples of you video editing, prove that you actually had 50 million views, I would take you seriously. And once again, guys, the followers don't really matter because I was able to do this as a broke college student that dropped out and lived in Bulgaria with no followers. I probably had like 100. So if I can do this, you can too. Just look at my Instagram page. Even if this had 100 followers, who do you think clients would choose to content operate for? Me or this guy? This guy could probably be a better content operator. I don't know. I don't know him. Maybe. But once again, you're going to go with this. And keep in mind, you don't need this to be perfect. You just need it to be better than your competition. As long as it's better than the Pakistan editor that has one picture of him, like, you know, working on his computer, you're going to be better off and you have a higher likelihood of landing a client. So anything like this is great. Anything like this, I would stay away from. Next, the actual outreach message. Well, it makes sense to outreach on Instagram because now we're simply in their general tab. So we have a likelihood of them seeing the message. We have a nice value portrayal on our Instagram. Let's keep going with our online resume, Instagram, and reach out to them via cold outreach on DMs. We want the message to follow the 3 C's: custom, concise, and convincing. Custom, because we don't want generic bullshit. Convincing, well, it needs to be persuasive for them to actually go and be interested in working with us. And concise, no client wants to read a 50-paragraph long essay. It needs to be quick. Their time is valuable. They're making money. They're not interested in reading a book for every day in the morning. And then the secret here is to simply reference their competitors and speak their language. Think about this once again on the psychological level. If I went to Dan Bilzerian and I'm like, yo, broski, you know, let me make the content for you, my man. He's gonna be like, what the hell? Like, I'm not working with you. But if I said, let me scale your business, let me automate your content, he's now gonna take me seriously. So speak their language. And then referencing competitors is actually, once again, a little tweak secret that I've developed, because when you tell someone, hey, look, this guy is at your same level, but he's doing better than you, or, you know, he has this advantage, I'm going to want to beat him because naturally business is about competition. I want clients. I want the huge market share. When you mention someone that's doing the same exact thing in their niche, they're going to be like, okay, like I have to beat him. How do I beat him? Well, you're providing me a solution to my content problem. Let's work together. So it's just a little trick that I like to use. So here's the actual message. And I use Robert that we looked at earlier as an example. So there's basically 2 ways. This is the first one. Remember, this is after this and after this, or it won't work. We're going to say, hey, X, love, and then insert a custom message and then call out his target audience. Because when someone tells you exactly what you're doing and then he's fixing a problem, it sounds like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. But if I'm saying something general, it's like, does he really know? Do I really trust him? So when I say, you know, love the one product dropshipping store, like we talked about in Robert's situation, in the 18 to 24-year-old dropshipping niche, and then we tell him we're a content operator and we would love to blow up his page just like a competitor, they're going to pay attention. They're going to listen. And one, you're going to stand out, which is the whole point of this. Remember, if you want to ask a girl on a date, you want to stand out because there's other people asking and calling her beautiful. So saying the same thing that everyone else is saying isn't going to help you. And then the second message is something super simple. If you're looking to automate and scale, once again, speak their language, let me know. It doesn't sound like I'm pitching too hard. Because once again, another common beginner mistake is they'll send 2 messages, they might not get a response, and then instead of waiting, they're going to be desperate. And they're going to send more messages and more and more. And they're basically thinking, oh, well, through volume, I can get a client. Volume negates luck, Emil. Well, no. Because if you're doing the wrong thing, doing it more times doesn't make it the right thing. Like, I see this all the time. People are begging and they're straight up desperate to get a client. Do you think that client is going to take you seriously? No. If anything, this works against you. It actually burns a bridge. Because if someone keeps DMing you, one, you're going to get annoyed. Or 2, you might just block him because, all right, bro, you blew your shot. Once again, the girl for an example. If I'm asking out a girl and she keeps not responding to me, asking her out again and again every single day will make me look needy. And she's going to think the fact that he's so desperate means he needs me more than I need him. He can't help me. He can't solve my problems. And that's how clients think. You want your content operator to be better at content than you. And if I'm so desperate to land you as a client, I'm not coming across like that. So stop selling, stop begging, and actually follow this sequence. So this is what it looks like. And once again, the reason there's 2 ways is because it's not word for word the exact message. It's a little more personal, which is always a great thing. Hey, Robert, love the one product dropshipping store strategy in the 18 to 24-year-old organic dropshipping niche. But how come you aren't posting talking head style videos like Andy Starring? So Andy Starring is actually one of my clients, but then again, it's just a competitor. It doesn't have to be someone you're actively working with. If we look at Andy's content, he's posting videos, talking to his audience, educating. And then if we look at Robert's videos on Instagram, they're mainly lifestyle.
Gambling! Oh, dang it. Oh, dang it.
Cool. So they might look interesting, like this BMW and stuff, but if you're not telling people about your business model, you're missing out on extra sales. Because think about the quality of person this video is attracting. Probably someone a little bit younger interested in cars or interested in being successful, which is good. But if you could attract someone like the type of person that's watching this video right now that actually wants to learn, that is serious about making this change, not just dreaming about it, well, then you should talk about your business model. And Robert understands this. This is why he's doing it on his YouTube channel. But he's missing out on another revenue and source of growth through Instagram. Like he's kind of doing it here.
Like you are at a stuck.
But it's too generic. He's just talking about general motivation. If he were to talk specifically about dropshipping, he would get more people interested in dropshipping, and then he could sell his course and his coaching plan on how to become a dropshipper. So that's why I said, how come you aren't posting talking head style videos like Andy Starring? And remember, there's 3 content styles that we went over. So see what your potential client is doing and ask him, why isn't he doing another one? And what does this do? It shows us we understand the talking head style is higher converting, and therefore we're a content operator that's an expert. Because we understand this content does better. I know what I'm doing. I'm standing out. Trust me, pay me. And it works. And then a question right here could be this. Or we could simply say, I'm a content operator and would love to blow up your page with this style of content, and then send him an example. So this we can either make, or we can find something like Andy and send it to him. And now we're presenting him a question that he actually cares about. We're helping him. Oh, Emil, like to get clients, you need to help your clients. Yes, you help, you provide value, and then they trust you and they're happy to pay you because you're a solution. You're not someone that's just trying to get money off them because they're going to put their guards up. And to do this, you want a DM tracker, something like this. This is the one I use to make sure that everything is organized and streamlined so you can actually stay up to date and land a client as soon as possible. That takes care of step 4. So hang in with me, guys. I know we're like an hour in, but we have a little more to go through. Step 5, which once again, we're following this right here, is get a video editor to do the work for you. Now, we can use the burner method. Once again, instead of finding clients, curating our feed on Instagram, we're going to do it, but with editors. And then I'm going to give you one that's expensive, that gives you the best results, and then a cheap one to simply get the ball rolling. You can pick and choose. I'm not going to make you go find them on your own. Burner method is right here. You can start with Kashal. This is a video editor I found just through using the Instagram method we went over. Let's look at some of his videos.
How many subscribers you got? Subscribers I have.
Great. He knows what he's doing. He's editing. But once again, he's positioning himself as a video editor and he's capped. Versus if he had a 9-block aesthetic with pictures of him in nice places and editing, in addition to his work, he can then be seen as an authority because he's building social proof and he can charge more money. But once again, these editors don't know how to do this, and this is why people look for content operators. So you can start with him. Or here is an expensive option. This guy actually made this video for me. $12,000 in profit this month just by connecting the dots as a 21-year-old college dropout. Here's what happened. You see, cool, so this video right here costed me 240 bucks. So once again, it is really expensive. This is only if a client has already paid you and you want to take that money and outsource it, give some of it to the editor so you can still keep profit in the middle. Or if you want to just straight up make a video and send it right here, this is going to pretty much guarantee you're going to land that client because you're providing value up front. Like what you could do is just go on YouTube, type in your client, Robert Malasaki, click here, one of the videos.
The crisis, I'm not called organic dropshipping, where I make.
And you see here how he's talking about dropshipping and there's no edits. You can simply copy this link, go to YouTube, to MP4 downloader, click on one of these, paste the link, click start, and then we can download this video, chop it up just the beginning, and then send it to that Indian video editor, or we can just do it ourselves. It's very simple. We just have to cut and add music and use the hook generator to have some interesting caption. Send it to him, and now we've beat 50, probably even 60, 70% of other content operators that aren't going to do that. They're going to be like, yo, bro, let me work for you. Like, let's look at some horrible examples here. Like, this is just horrible. Like, people buy from people. I don't want a theme page. I want a person with a face behind the camera that I can trust to give my money. What you'll learn is clients don't invest in your service. They invest in you. They invest in you to do this properly, manage the video editor, make sure that the system is working efficiently. They're investing in you as the content operator, not your service. That's the expensive option. It's right here. This guy, he makes great videos. We just went over the one he made for me, but also like this.
He just made his biggest business move yet. He's now the co-owner of Walk, the fastest growing digital.
Okay, you get the point. And then here is a cheap option for 25 bucks a video. It's very good. You can see there's a lot of animations here on the talking head style content format, and it's on Fiverr. So there you go. And that, to be honest, goes over the entire system. But I have a couple bonuses here that I want to go over quickly. So the way you should think about this, and you probably know by now, is that you are the solution to their problems. They need a content operator because do you think Nathan is going to sit there editing videos on his own? Do you think Dan is going to figure out what Indian video editor is the best? Or do you think these guys are just going to pay an expert to do it for them? That's why content operator is the most in-demand skill. So the mindset you have is, okay, they need me more than I need them. I know you want to get paid, but relax. When you come at it with this approach, you're likely to actually get clients because they're not going to smell that you're desperate and they're going to take you seriously. So if you're going to be the solution, act like it. No 100 messages a day. No begging them to work with you, because I see people do this all the time. It's like, it's so stupid. It doesn't work. It's not psychologically logical. And then I just want to show you guys something that, like, just don't be a bitch. Like, that's, I don't know how to sugarcoat that. Like, this was me in college. If this guy can do it, you can do it too. I was just an average kid going to college. I just hated school. I hated waking up, having someone tell me what credits to take for what classes, to learn about the cardiovascular system of a plant instead of how to make money, how to do taxes. It just takes having the right system, which you guys now have, and then doing the work and not just complaining that after 2 videos or after 3 messages, you haven't landed a client. You don't go to the gym and after a week give up because you don't have abs. It doesn't work that way. We all know this. So then why do people complain and give up after starting a business for 1 week? It's the same concept. You don't complain about going to school for 12 years to become a doctor. So why are you saying business doesn't work after 1 week of it not working? Right? Like, bro, I literally moved to a remote mountain village because I dropped out of college to make this happen. This was the only car I could afford. It was $500. It's an Opel. You guys probably don't even know what that means. It's the Toyota of Europe, and it kept breaking down. Like, this was the mountain village. Bro, it was so cold. Like, I remember at night, I literally had to hold in my bladder because I couldn't walk next door to use the bathroom. It was like negative 10 degrees. We had no internal like heating. I had to chop wood manually to put in a furnace so I wouldn't be cold during the winter. And then when it came to working out, there's no gyms. It's just an outdoor pull-up and dip bar. And here's me on that outdoor pull-up and dip bar. So take personal accountability. No one's going to go and fix your life except yourself. And now you have the system. You have no excuse. You know that content isn't about being like the revolutionary or original guy. It's about copying a proven strategy and not reinventing the wheel just like Mr. Beast does. It's literally Mr. Beast and he does it. Look, I did it right here with this video example. So yeah, just literally get it together. And then the conclusion of this entire video, and just hold off, I have a little bit more that you guys are really going to like at the end, is at the start, I promised you 3 things. I promised you, you'll know exactly how to become a content operator and acquire clients for free via the social hacking method, which was steps 3 and 4. So I kept my promise there. I also kept my promise that you'll learn how to make viral videos without any prior editing experience, and you'll automate your work by outsourcing it to a trained quality editor. Gave you the editor. And then finally, I also promised that you'll know exactly how to find high-paying clients via the sniper method, which was this right here. Just like we found Eric, we found people like Robert, and we have a DM tracker to do all this for us. So I'm not a liar. I know exactly what I promised, and I fulfilled on that promise. So the thing is, there's a million different ways this can go wrong, because there's slight nuances that pretty much determine will you be successful or not successful. And I would love to make another 45-hour long video, but we would be here forever. We're already an hour in. So instead of that, I actually work with people one-on-one and mentor them to make sure they get results. And the reason I do this is because I hire people that I train as content operators for my businesses, or I invest in theirs so we can all make money together. And essentially, I have a, let's see here, 6-week program that teaches you step by step, even more in depth than what I showed you, in addition to me holding your hand to make sure you set up everything properly to actually make 5 to 10K per month as a content operator, even though you're a complete beginner. It's not just, you know, a mind map. I actually have things you're going to check off. So like daily homework, and we're going to have one-on-one calls so I can make sure you're doing it properly and you're honestly learning everything. Like, you're going to get access to this AI bot, so you can always make high converting content. You're going to get access to this IG content pipeline and about a million other things like the DM tracker. But probably my personal favorite is 3,500 free luxury clips to practice making content with, or to just give the video editor and make sure that he knows what he's doing. Let's look at an example here. These are all 4K, super high quality of like Lambos, things like that. You know, there's a bunch of cars. This is pretty cool, I'd say. Yeah, you guys get the point. And there's honestly a lot more that I just can't show you in this video because it'd be too long, like breakdowns of me doing it for my current clients. On top of actually, you know, having checkpoints so that after step 1, you and I have a call. Step 2, you and I have a call. Step 3, you and I have a call to make sure you're doing things properly. This is the layout right here. I'm going to go over it very quickly. So week 0 is simply just about getting onboarded to the 6-week program, opening a one-on-one conversation with myself, selecting a niche is week 1, and then we're going to have a call. It's a checkpoint. I'm going to approve it. If it's a great niche, perfect. You're going to go on to weeks 2 and 3. You're going to implement the social hacking strategy. You're going to use the AI bot to create content. And then once again, I'm going to approve all of this. If it looks good, you're going to go land a client via the sniper approach. You're going to scale. Once again, I need to approve this and pretty much hold your hand for the entire process. Now, the people that have gone through this have literally gotten amazing results, like Dilpreet right here, who made 5.5K 2 weeks ago. And how much money did you make today?
I made 5.5
in 2 weeks of this program.
Bros, but walk us through
or like
what
Christian, who made $23,000.
Find a new client, it's $23,000 per month.
And that's per month, by the way. So what is that, like 250K a year? Something like that. Or like Ilias or Yash or Atanas. I mean, you guys get the point. And I help you guys by being a one-on-one mentor. And the best part is, because I am known as the content guy, I actually have connections that you guys can leverage. Like, for example, people like Eric will sometimes post things like this, that he's looking for a content operator on his story. And I can, the minute I see this, send it to you so you have this opportunity. Like this is one of the chats of me sending that exact one right here. Actually, that's a live walkthrough I did right here. Here's another one that is currently active 19 hours ago, hiring a creative director, 7.5K to 12.5K a month. And these opportunities you're not going to see on your own. And you're not going to know, even when you do see it, how to go and land this client, because you haven't been through the 6-week structure. You haven't gone and done your homework for me to check over. So this is why I would like to work with you guys, but only to those who are serious. I don't want any people that want to become a millionaire overnight. If you want to learn the skill of becoming a content operator, making between $5,000 and $10,000 per month, click the link below, schedule a one-on-one call with me. It'll actually be with me. You and I are going to hop on a call. I'm going to see if I can help you. If not, great, we'll share some free value. So click that first link down below. Sub to the channel. Let me know if you guys like these style content videos. I had a blast. I'm hoping you learned something, and I'll see you guys on the call. Peace out.